What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Hatter's World. This will be episode 2 of Lunchtime Ramblings. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a little series out of this. I kind of like rambling at you guys on my lunch breaks here. It makes the day go by a little bit, and it lets me get some shit off my chest. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys enjoy it or not. And I think I'm going to keep doing it, just to kind of, one, bring you guys some content, and two, like I said, get some shit off my chest and make my day go by just a little bit faster, make my day a little bit better, So, anyway, the new Batman trailer has dropped for the new movie, The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. You may know him from his role as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter Goblet of Fire, or as the fucking body glitter vampire from Twilight, Edward, whatever the hell his last name is, Colin? Who cares? Vampires don't fucking glitter. Anyway, so the movie actually looks pretty good. Penguin's going to be in it. Colin Farrell is actually playing Penguin, which is, in my opinion, that's going to be awesome. I love Colin Farrell. I think he's a fantastic actor. It doesn't look anything like him. They put him in all types of makeup and fat suit and everything like that. So it doesn't look like the Colin Farrell that you're used to, but it is Colin Farrell nonetheless, and he will, like I said, be playing Penguin. Now, if you have seen this trailer, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen this trailer, go watch it, come back so you can understand what I'm talking about, because I have one minor concern and one slightly more major, but still not quite major concern about things that are going to be happening in this movie. You see, it looks like from the previews, it looks like the Riddler will be a character in this movie. There's letters with question marks on them, and the date is in question mark for twos, and it's 2021, but it's the twos are question marks. So it looks like the Riddler's supposed to be in this. Now, we've seen Penguin. There is a glimpse of Catwoman as well. I'm not sure who's playing her. I will find out, though, and I'll get back to you on that. But there's no actual view, no actual footage of the Riddler anywhere. So it leaves it to be wondering, and maybe, this is just, I didn't do any research before making this, other than the rant I made about Robert Pattinson being Batman over on my other channel, Wizarding Wiz. If you guys haven't seen that one, it's mostly Harry Potter stuff, but I'm starting to stretch out over there too and cover other things. But I have a whole rant video about him being Batman over there. But his Batman looks good. The costume's a little weird, but whatever. I mean, that's the suit changes with the directors. I mean, it really does. Every director has kind of changed the suit a little bit. The original with Adam West was like a blue and gray suit, and then my Batman, Michael Keaton, was that all black, leathery, rubbery suit with the stiff neck, and then Val Kilmer in the following series, and George Clooney following that, were the black rubber and the a little bit more movement, and it changes. Ben Affleck had this big iron suit thing, so he could fight Superman and Superman v Batman, which was a decent movie. It was a decent take, but I cover all this on that other channel. But anyway, so the bat suit looks a little bit weird, but I think that'll be okay. My concern is Bruce Wayne himself. Now, the shot that you see him in, it looks like he's still in the suit, just with the cowl removed, and so maybe it's just that scene, and I'm hoping that it's just that scene. But somebody explain to me why Batman looks like a 16-year-old emo kid. Now this is coming from an old school goth here, okay? That was my thing growing up. I was the goth kid 100%. I love heavy metal music, and all that weird shit. I'm still into all that. I still even wear mostly black all the time. I'm not costume goth or anything like that. But, whatever. But why? I mean, he's got this eyeliner that's running down his face. Now, I'm assuming that this is the cowl being taken off, because if you look, there's always the oil paint around Batman's eyes. And then, he takes the mask off and it's magically not there, but it's there. We all know it's there because they got to make it dark around the eyes. You can't just have white eyes shining through. with a black mask over your face, because that just looks stupid. So they put the mascara or the black oil paint over it. But this, it looks like he's got like that, but it's like running, so like he's sweating or crying maybe, I don't know. And then his hair is all like, he looks like Tobey Maguire in, what was it, the second Spider-Man movie, when Venom kind of attaches himself to him and he pulls his hair down and he's all like, I'm dark Tobey Maguire now. Yeah, that's kind of like, or Peter Parker, whatever the fuck. That's kind of like what this looks like with Robert Pattinson with the Batman. So emo, like he's a big fucking bird. Emo Batman, not sure if I'm a fan of. I don't know, but like I said, it could just be that one scene. So hopefully it is. Hopefully it's just that one scene, and they don't go and ruin Batman for me, and ruin Bruce Wayne, or ruin Robert Pattinson's chance at having a good run in this franchise as a decent Batman and a decent Bruce Wayne, because they decided to make him emo and 16 instead of an adult who is not emo. Goth maybe, but not emo. So I hope they change that. I also, speaking of movies, heard some other disturbing stuff when it comes to movies. The Matrix 4, which I was looking forward to until I got this news. It's not, I don't know when it's slated to come out, probably 2021 or 2022, something like that. But now I'm not even sure if I'm going to go see it, because Lawrence Fishburne's not going to be in it. What is the point of having the Matrix if you don't have Morpheus? Like, he's one of the key components to the movie. You've got Morpheus, Trinity, and Neo. They're like the important characters, and Agent Smith. And I'm pretty sure Hugo, what the hell is his last name? Hugo something. The guy who plays Agent Smith, he is not going to be in it either. And that's not surprising. Agent Smith got beat. So that's not too surprising. I'm not too downhearted about that. I mean, it would be cool if he was in there, because, he's the big bad. But if he's not, that's not a big deal. The big deal is that you're not going to have Morpheus. How are you not going to have the leader of the resistance, the leader of the rebellion? How are you not going to have him in the movie? He is like, Neo is the chosen one. He's the prophecy. He's excuse me. He's the soldier of prophecy. And Morpheus is the one who brings him to fight. He is the one who trains him. He's the one who helps set these people free and get them to come and fight the machines. And now you're not going to have Morpheus. How do you bring back... Okay, first of all, how do you bring back Neo when Neo dies in the third one? The whole Jesus Christ pose on the floor when the robots pick him up with the plugs and they pull him into the machine and they all run away from Zion and all that. Like, how... Okay, so Neo's going to be alive, but there's no Morpheus. What fuck sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have Neo and not have Morpheus? Okay, alright. I'm sorry. I'm getting my blood pressure up here. I don't know if anybody can hear me outside the car, but they might be looking at me a little weird because I'm like yelling and I'm in the Jeep, and the Jeep does not hold sound or air very well. So they can maybe hear me if I'm being too loud, but it doesn't matter, because people need to understand how ridiculous it is to do a Matrix movie without Morpheus. That's like, I was a little disappointed with Bill and Ted coming out, and not, obviously they can't have George Carlin. George Carlin has passed on, so you need to replace him, and that's sad but understandable, because George Carlin is no longer with us. Okay, so Bill and Ted without George Carlin playing was he like the Grim Reaper or something? I forget. He's like the guy who teleports him around in the phone. I mean, I haven't seen Bill and Ted in years, man. I haven't. It's been years since I've seen the Bill and Ted movies, the originals. But George Carlin was originally the one who ferried him around in the timeline in the phone booth there, and now it's some other person, and that's fine. I get it. Like I said, George Carlin's dead. You can't just bring a man back from the dead to be in a movie just because he belongs there. I get that, but that is not the case. Lawrence Fishburne is alive and well and healthy, and he is not in the Matrix 4, and that is disappointing. And now I don't even know if I want to see the next Matrix movie without Lawrence Fishburne in it. Terrible. Now, back to Batman. Sometime next year in 2021, well, my voice cracked a little bit there. It's because I'm talking so much. Sometime next year in 2021, there will be a new Batman game called Gotham Knights. Now this looks like it's gonna be every Robin, every Robin that was Robin and is now their own superhero, with the exception of Damian will still be donning the Robin costume because Damian is the current Robin when it comes to the series. Now, I have not finished Injustice 2 yet, so I don't know the storyline, so please don't give me spoilers. I plan on finishing that long before this comes out, but I haven't finished it yet. Where I am in the storyline, Damian has turned his back on his father and has joined Superman and taken up that line of things. Now, what intrigued me with this video game, and this is what I'm really interested in, and I'm wondering if it comes into play at all in the multiverse saga, in the Injustice saga, or not, but I'm assuming it probably does. Red Hood, who is Jason Todd, for those of you who know who that is, and those of you who don't, Jason Todd was the Batman after the Robin after Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson grows up, he becomes Nightwing, and then you have Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, and Jason Todd steps in as Robin, excuse me, and is then murdered, beaten to death, literally, like beaten. He gets the crap beat out of him, and then blown up by Joker, and then is brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus Pool. Kind of goes a little bit crazy, takes on the persona of Red Hood, which is one of Joker's old villains things, and becomes a vigilante. The biggest difference being he's willing to kill the bad guys, where Batman is not. Obviously, Batman's whole shtick is, you don't kill if you don't have to, kind of deal. Or don't kill when you can avoid it, kind of deal. Whereas Jason Todd just like, fuck you, boom. But, so there's that. And then there's the girl, I don't remember her name. She is now Batwoman in the series, in the world, in the Batman world, in the Batverse, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. But she was also a Robin at one point, before Damian. So, and then of course, like I said, Damian. And for those of you who don't know, and you're like, who's Damian? Who's Damian's father? Damian is Bruce Wayne's son. Damian Wayne, which kind of sounds a lot like Damon Wayne, the comedian, but it's not. Promise. It's Damian Wayne, no S at the end, or a Z, however you want to spell it. But yeah, so Damian is Batman's son. So that's just a little refresher, or a little catch up for those of you who don't know too much about the backstory there. But I think it's pretty cool. It looks like all of the Robins, or once had been Robins, are going to now take over because Bruce dies. And I won't give too much more away there, but you can go check out the trailer for the video game and you can see it yourself. It's not like it's hidden. It is the premise behind the game. Bruce dies. He sends out a message to all of them and asks them to keep an eye over Gotham, and then the game is what happens during all of that. And it looks pretty badass. I'm looking forward to that coming out. I will definitely be buying that. I have to finish Injustice 2 first. I guess I don't really have to, but I'm going to because duh. What else? Is there anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Let's see. We covered movies. We covered Batman. We covered the video game. I think I'm going to leave it. Oh, no. I got one more thing to tell you guys about. I just heard about this today. I don't know. It's probably a couple days old, or maybe a little bit older than that. But some of you know, and most of you probably know by now, that I live in Connecticut, the state of Connecticut in the United States. I'm assuming most of you are probably from America if you're watching this. But if you're not, I live in the United States, and I live in a state called Connecticut. In Connecticut, there is a town called Danbury. It is right on the border of Connecticut and New York. And believe it or not, I actually worked there for the last 3 or 4 years. I don't work there anymore, but that's where I used to work. That's where a lot of my old videos, where you see me inside my old Jeep and stuff. That's where I worked. That is where I used to work when I actually started this channel. That's where I was working. Was in Danbury. And so John Oliver, he's a British comedian. He does the late night or Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He's pretty funny. But he had like a whole little rant about Danbury and said some pretty mean things that were probably pretty funny, because John Oliver's a pretty funny guy. And Danbury really kind of does suck. It's like the drug capital of Connecticut. But that wasn't one of the things he said about it. But the mayor got all butthurt about it. He got all pissy about it. And so his retaliation is to name the new, well, not the new, but to rename the sewage treatment plant the John Oliver sewage treatment plant. And he says, and this is a direct quote, because it's full of shit just like you. That was his exact words. The mayor of Danbury said that they are renaming the sewage treatment plant the John Oliver sewage treatment plant because it's full of shit just like John Oliver. And that makes me laugh my ass off. And now there's this whole feud where John Oliver's throwing jabs here and there at Danbury, and I'm sure Danbury will retaliate or something. And I think it's freaking hilarious. And yes, Danbury actually is known as Hat City, which is funny because I used the moniker of the Mad Hatter for years, on and off, way before I even knew Danbury was a thing or any of the history of it or anything like that. But it is where it used to be the hat capital of America. It's where all the hats used to get made, which explains why everybody's freaking nuts and you have to be mad as a hatter to live there. But that's me. But I don't live there. I don't live there. I used to work there. And like I said, it was way before I even knew anything about them that I took on the moniker of the Mad Hatter. So it was kind of funny when I started working there and people were like, oh, because it's Danbury, ha ha. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's because of my name, my last name. It's part of that. People have called me that for years. Didn't even know Danbury was a thing for the first, several years of using this moniker. Anyway, guys, my time is up. I got to get back inside. I got to get back to work. Y'all have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Watch out for the coronavirus. I hope you're all doing healthy and well. And until the next one, let's get weird.